Assalamu alaikum everyone. So we are back at marketing. Yesterday in the last video we discussed about what is marketing and the marketing objectives. Now we are going to be looking at the importance of marketing objectives. So I have listed down some importance of marketing objectives. Let's look at that. Marketing objectives sets out what a business wants to achieve from its marketing activities. It helps a business know what it wants to do, what marketing activities are supposed to do, what is the main goal. If you don't know the goal, well, then what are you supposed to even do? So that's what it does. It sets a goal for the marketing activities so they can do something, so they have a target where they can reach. And another important thing is that it should be consistent with the overall aims and objectives of the business. Like we discussed earlier, if we are having our objective of growth, we must have to increase our sales. It should not be that if we are having the objective of growth and our marketing objective is to increase our brand identity. That will not work because brand identity will take longer to in order to grow, so that won't work. Hence, they should be aligned with the overall aims and objectives of the business. The next thing is that they should be clearly communicated for synchronization of workforce. This communication is very important, as if the workforce don't know what they are aiming for, they won't be able to work properly or dedicate their own hard work, or well, they need to be motivated, so they should know what the business is planning, and hence all the departments should be synchronized in order to achieve one common goal. And as we discussed earlier, it should be quantitative so our progress can be managed. If it's quantitative, like the market share or the sales, we need that to be quantitative so our progress can be monitored. We can know how much have we grown in the last recent years. So that all comes under the quantitative terms, that it should be quantitative in order to in order for progress to be monitored. The next thing is that it should be broken down into regional and product sales target to allow for management by objectives. Now this may be confusing for some about how it may be carried out. It's not that confusing. It's basically just about that. Suppose there's a country A. They want to increase their sales by 30%. Now how will they do it? This 30% sales will be divided into different departments. For example, city B, city C, and city D. This one country has its sales in three different countries, the three different cities, and this 30% will be divided into these three cities. Like maybe city B has 15%, and city C has 10%, while city D has 5%. So these are all divided into the departments, and then these departments themselves will decide what they have to do to reach this much sales. Hence, it should be broken down into the regional departments for management by objectives. So that's it about the importance of marketing objectives. Now we're gonna be looking at how different departments are engaged with marketing department. Now, coordination with other departments is also one of the important things which we need to do about in order to achieve our marketing objectives. So, the first department is the finance department. Like, if you don't have the finance enough to market some products, then what is even the point of marketing the product? So, finance is the most important, that marketing will have to work within the budget agreed. Within the budget agreed. At corporate level actually means the top most level, the top management level, and specified by the finance, like how much the finance department has given the marketing department to use in order to promote, let's say, a product A. How much they have only around $1 million in order to promote product A in different cities, and also they must use that effectively in order to achieve their marketing objective. Their objective shouldn't be too much that they don't even have the finance in order to achieve that objective. The next thing is that finance will use the sales forecast of marketing to devise cash flow forecast. Now the sales forecast marketing would have predicted that okay, if we promote a product this much, we will get this much sales in the next year or so. So this data is used by the finance to devise cash flow forecasts. Now what are cash flow forecasts? Cash flow forecasts are basically, it tells the future that in the future how much cash inflows, how much cash will come into the business and go out of the business. That's basically cash flow, because the cash is flowing in and out of the business. That's cash flow. And forecast is basically that it is not a real thing, it is just forecasted that what might happen in the next coming years. So that covers about finance. The next thing is operations. Operations is the main department about the main production and all. It involves around stock management and all. That's what operations does, and it uses data to devise new products and all. So market research data will be important in new product planning. Whatever the new product the business wants to plan, it will use this market research data. And what is market research, if you ask? It's about collecting data that we discussed about what is marketing. No, that collection of data is done through market research. So marketing department should provide the market research data, accurate market research data, to the operations department in order to plan a new product. And the next thing is that the sales forecast which the marketing department must have calculated will affect the capacity utilization decisions for new output level. So let's say if a business has decided okay, their sales will increase by 20%. So does the operations department have enough machineries and all in order to achieve this 20% goal? So they might have to purchase new machineries and do something else in order to achieve that target. They might have to increase their capacity utilization, they might have to stock more raw materials and all, raw materials stock they might have to do, they might have to in purchase new machineries and all. So all this will come under the sales forecast. They have to use this sales forecast in order to use this effectively to buy new machinery or raw materials as required. And the next thing is that they will attempt to keep operations customer oriented. Marketing department will try the operations to make them customer oriented. So what is customer oriented? Customer, there are two types of methods. It could either be customer oriented, which is also known as market orientation, or product orientation, which is more about the business, what the business is making. So a customer oriented business basically focuses on the needs of the customers and adopt like that. What the customers want, they produce that. The next department is the human resource department, human resource management, it's called HRM also. It's basically called HRM most of the times. So HRM does is that the sales forecast from the marketing department will be used to devise a workforce plan. What workforce plan? That how much workforce will be needed for the in order to carry out this. if it's a labor intensive business, how much more workers they'll need to hire, are the workers skilled enough. So all that thing is to be decided by the HRM. The next thing they might have to do is that they will have to ensure qualified and experienced staff are recruited and selected beforehand to make sure there are sufficient workers to produce and sell the increase in sales planned by the marketing department. Because obviously marketing department, if it's planning about an increase in sales or increase in the market share, they will have to produce more, and in order to produce more there must be enough human resources. So that's what the human resource management does. It makes sure there's enough human resources, and the objectives are clearly communicated with the human resource department. So that's it for today. We have discussed about the coordination with the other departments and the importance of marketing objectives. Thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.